What is up? I should be live on YouTube. What is up, family? Can y'all see me? Can you? I am here. Yes. What is up? Ooh, I got some information for y'all. Why does this say upcoming? It should not say upcoming. I am here now. What's up, people? I don't know who's in here or what's going on, but I got some information for y'all. Got some information for the family. If you pop on in here, say what's up. Let me know who's here, because I don't know. Let me know what's up, y'all. Come on in here if you're in here. Come on into the room. Come into the room. I should be live. I hope I'm live and it's working. What's up, family? If you are in here, say what's up. We have to talk. I really wish, let me see. Honey, honey, I can see the stars all the way. What's going on, family? We got to talk about how to achieve heart and mind alignment. Let me go live on here. Set that up just like that. Go live. How to achieve heart and mind alignment. How to achieve heart and mind alignment. We got to talk about this. I've been doing some coaching. I've been doing some consultations, and a lot of the people that I'm talking to are just having contradicting thoughts, contradicting beliefs, and they are not in alignment with what they actually want and what they are actually speaking of and things of that nature. So it is so important to have your heart, which is where which is where our divinity really stems from, which is where our intuition actually stems from, is heart, right? It's a heart thing. It's an inner knowing. The inner knowing is a heart thing, not a mind thing, right? And then we're talking about the mind, we're talking about ego, we're talking about thought. All right. And so it is so important that our thought and our inner knowing, our desires, what we want out of life, it is so important that those things be in alignment and be in one accord. So in this video right now, we're going to be talking about how to accomplish heart and mind alignment. All right. And like I said, this topic really came to mind because I've been doing my thing. I've been doing my thing, working with some beautiful people, and they'll tell me something that they want, and then as we dive deeper into everything, what we discover is that their deep-rooted internal beliefs are not really in alignment with what they're asking the universe, God, spirit for. Okay? And so it doesn't happen when we don't have heart and mind alignment. When our heart, our desires, what we long for is not in alignment with our thinking, then we're not in position to truly manifest the things that we want. And so it is so important to achieve heart and mind alignment. How to get those things on the same wavelength, on the same frequency, on the same correspondence, right? And so something that this really came up for me as I was contemplating on this spring energy, this new year energy, this birthing, this creative energy. Peace, Carmen. Peace, Charlie Mack. What is up? I've been waiting on people to come up in here and join me. I'm like, let me just tell y'all what is on my mind because spirit is showing up, right? So, y'all, in order to manifest anything that you desire, you have to have heart and mind alignment. Meaning, you have to get your deep intuitive knowing and your ego on the same page. Thank you, sis. Right? You have to get your heart and your mind in alignment, you got to get your spirit, your intuitive knowing, and your thought, your ego, your conscious mind on the same page, on the same frequency, in alignment. Okay? And so I read this book. I was reading Iyanla Van Zant's book until today. And one of the days that I read yesterday, it said inner cooperation for outer results. That rang a bell so beautiful within me. Inner cooperation for outer results, meaning your inner world, your mind, your thinking, your thoughts, your ego, that consciousness, and your heart, your feeling, your intuition must be cooperating, must be in agreement in order for you to experience outer results, in order for these things to be birthed, in order for these things to be brought to life, in order for these things to be made manifest. This is so important right now in this specific space and time because we are in that spring season, and this is when things are being born, things are being birthed, things are being created. And you, just like nature, want to be bringing something to life. Just like you see the flowers blooming, just like you see the birds and the trees and all of the animals coming out and showing themselves, all of the butterflies showing their beautiful wings, just like you see that, you as a spiritual intuitive being, you want to be manifesting that same thing as well. But in order to manifest and be in alignment with this spring energy, you have to have heart and mind alignment, meaning your inner knowing, your intuition, your heart, that heart chakra must be in alignment with the thoughts that you are having. There must be a clear connection, a congruent frequency or correspondence. What is up, Miss Blue? It's good to see you, sis. I love you and I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Right? So, y'all, it's something that is coming up a lot in my coaching. I'm seeing so many people, they're telling me they want this, they want this, they want this, but those deep rooted beliefs that they have are not in alignment with it. Right? They're telling me, okay, I want to get out there, I want to expand my business, but at the same time, I want to be in isolation. Right? They're telling me, okay, I want to experience an emotional connection with people. I want to have emotional value and an emotional connection with people. But yet and still they offer value by giving physical things. Okay? Or they may be thinking, I want prosperity, I want more abundance, I want more this, but they're penny pinching. Okay? And so there's nothing wrong. There's absolutely nothing wrong with wanting more, with longing for more, with having an internal desire to experience greater, right? That's actually a part of your spiritual experience, to want to experience greater, to want to have more, to want to expand. That's a part of our experience. But also a part of our experience is challenging your thoughts, challenging your beliefs, challenging some of those deep seated, rooted experiences that have caused us to think a certain way. And what I realize, y'all, is that it mostly boils down to deservingness, to worthiness, to willingness, and also to fearlessness. Hello, Self Master. What's up? What's up, Dream Wise Chaos Being? What's up to y'all? What's up to Love and Elevation for coming on in here? What's up? So, what it mostly boils down to, y'all, is do you feel like you are worthy? Do you feel like you are capable of breaking through those old thought processes, those old beliefs? Do you feel like you are capable of going beyond thought? Ooh, come on, Spirit. That is a word. Ooh. Can you go beyond your thought? Can you transform your thought? Can you find a higher vibration? Right? Cause, ooh, God. See, because a lot of us, we really have become a slave to our thinking. We really believe the thoughts that we have. And I want you to know and I want you to understand that your thoughts are conditions, right? Like you've had these experiences, and so you think a certain way because thinking this certain way has kept you safe. It's so funny to even think about because our mind is so complex, right? Sorry, y'all, we back. But these thoughts have kept you safe. This certain way of living has kept you safe. But when you get to this space in life where you're ready to expand, you're ready to grow, you're ready to evolve, right? And then you got this internal battle going on. You're like, I want growth, I want evolution, I want to experience greater, but the thoughts that I'm having are not allowing me to go there. It's the mind is such an amazing thing, but if you don't learn to check, address, and transform your mind, you'll keep on creating the same experience over and over and over again. And as you do that, as you keep having the same experience, you start to really believe that those thoughts are true, that those thoughts are fact, that those thoughts cannot be changed, that this way of life cannot be transformed. You start to really identify with that way of being. Mm. How many of y'all know about that? I tell you, I've known about. I've had that experience myself, to where I literally thought I was one person. I really thought that I was this person. I had to be this specific person because being this person is how I've got to where I am right now. But in the same breath, being that person is stopping me from being who I know I truly am. It's stopping me from like busting out and really letting God out. It's so funny, y'all. I was just talking about this in one of my coaching sessions, where I was literally like, your ego is really a protection mechanism, and it is something that to some extent we're grateful for, because without it we would end up in all types of madness, all types of crazy situations. But sometimes your ego is protecting you from what you desire. Sometimes your ego is protecting you from manifesting that thing that you've longed for. Because the ego is a mental mechanism that is structured in comfortability and that is structured in safety. And so when you're doing something totally new, the ego is like, hold on. This is a new situation, sis. I don't know if you're ready for this. Right? The ego is like, hold on. No, that ain't you. Being prosperous, that ain't you. That ain't never been you. We ain't never been prosperous. That's how your ego will talk to you. No, 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 no. You're not used to having money. Go spend that what do people just got? Stimulus check. Go spend that stimulus check. Because you're not used to having that amount of money in your bank account. You know? No, run away from this relationship. No, you're not used to being in a committed relationship. No, you can't do that. That's not you. You used to being single. Or you used to toxic relationships. You're not used to healthy. Okay? So this is what our ego does, y'all. And it's not like an intentional thing, like a self-sabotaging type thing, even though when we don't become aware of our egos, when we do not become aware of the fact that we've had some trauma that has shaped the way we think, that has shaped the way that we perceive the world, when we don't become aware of that and we don't make changes based off of that awareness, we do end up self-sabotaging our goals. We do end up blocking ourselves from accomplishing that which we desire. And so what do we have to do? We have to accomplish heart mind alignment. We got to get that deep inner knowing. We got to get our ego, our conscious mind, that thought, we got to get it on the same page as what is dwelling within our hearts. You know, healing is in your heart, right? You know, transformation is in your heart. You know, abundance is in your heart. You know, operating from your passion and your purpose is in your heart. You know that you have a deep longing to transform and to have this specific experience while you are right here in the flesh. You have this deep longing for it. You know that it's there. You feel it. You feel it. But then you have these thoughts that are like, nah. And so we have to learn first how to identify ego. And I say again, ego is not a bad thing. Your ego is not a bad thing. It's a protection mechanism. And it is rooted in a fear-based kind of aspect, in a fear-based thought. And I was writing some things down that was so good that I want you guys to know, family, right? One, first and foremost, in order to manifest the things that you truly desire and the things that you truly want, you have to get on one accord internally. You got to get on one accord. Your thoughts and your feelings have to be on the same page in regards to what it is that you're wanting to create. They got to be in alignment. Okay? How I feel and how I am thinking are coming together to create this cosmic bomb of life, of creation, of transformation, of healing, of whatever it is that you desire. Heart and mind have to be on the same page with it. Okay, it has to be on one accord. I love the aspect of polarity, right, polarity. So we have these opposite sides. We could see this in the law of gender. We could see this in all the seven laws, right? But what has to happen is that we have to reconcile these opposing internal experiences. We got to reconcile them. We got to bring them together. Okay? All right? How many of y'all let me know in the chat. Y'all let me know in the chat on Instagram and on YouTube. Y'all let me know if you've ever had an experience, which I'm sure all of us have had before. What's up, little brother? My little brother just came on. What's up, DJ Waller? We've all had those. Y'all let me know in the chat if you've ever had this experience where you wanted something so bad, but your thought, your mind, your fear was like stopping you from doing it. If you have this emoji on your phone, put that emoji in the chat for me. If you've ever had that experience to where it's like, I know I want this. I know I want this. I know this is what I want, but for some reason my thought is not aligning with it for me. And it just makes you feel like this. I love this emoji. This emoji is so accurate for that. It's just like, why do I know what is right for me to do? I know what is right for me to be, but for some reason, I keep on having this battle. It's that heart and mind alignment. And it's okay. It's okay because I'm going to tell you what to do. I love that, Christy. I'm glad this is in alignment for you. That's why I'm here. Listen, I want resonance. That's it. We all like this. We've all had that experience to where we know what we want. We know, we feel it so deeply within us. It's a deep feeling, a deep inner knowing. But our thoughts and our actions are not lining up. Okay? So first thing, you got to be able to identify ego. So let's talk about that. You got to be able to identify ego. Okay? So first thing, ego is all head. Ego is all up here. Ego is all up here. And even in your meditation, your ego can show up in bodily sensations. That's a whole nother topic, right? Ego is all up here, head stuff. All head stuff, family. Thought, 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 thought. That's ego, okay? Your ego always needs proof. Your ego is never okay with one answer. Your ego has question after question after question. What if? What if? What if? Deep down in your heart, I was having this conversation with myself. I'm going to just tell y'all straight up. I've been wanting a Lincoln Navigator for the past year. You heard me correctly. I've been wanting a Lincoln Navigator for the past year. And now the circumstances have presented themselves to where it's no longer a want, it is necessary. Okay? But my ego was like, well, are you sure you want that? Oh, my YouTube channel is Divine Relationship Alchemy. Actually, if you go to my page, YouTube family, I'm on Instagram too. So if you go to my page on here, it's in the link. You'll be able to see the YouTube page. Check it out. So I've been wanting a Lincoln Navigator. But of course, my ego was like, that Lincoln Navigator, that's a 70, $80,000 vehicle. You probably want to look at that Ford Explorer. They in the same family. I mean, not the Ford Explorer. You probably need to look at the Ford Expedition. They in the same family. They kind of look alike. Sometimes you confuse the two. This one is more affordable. You probably can go get that like today if you want it. And I'm like, but I want the Lincoln. But no, it's not. I don't know what's going on the in self master because I'm definitely live on YouTube. I don't know, but it's like, it's like, but the Ford, that's gonna be easier to do. That's more feasible. What if the Lincoln is too expensive? What if your credit not high enough? What if you see how the ego will do you? The ego had me swaying on what I know I've been wanting for the longest. Okay? And so what do I have to do? I had to tell myself, one, I know that money ain't a thing. It's not. I know that my spiritual power, my spiritual bank account supersedes any financial anything in this human realm. It doesn't matter. Right? If I want that, I can have that. But guess what? I have to get on the same accord within my thought and within my inner knowing and within my feeling. See, in my heart, it's the Lincoln for me. Within my heart, it's the Lincoln for me. But my ego was like, I don't know. So now I got to go back to the drawing board as far as my thought goes. I have to start, I have to start trusting more, right? I got to start trusting more, trusting in the knowing and the understanding that money, abundance, prosperity, it flows to me easily and effortlessly, right? Anything that I want, I can have. I am deserving, I am worthy of the best. And I got to start thinking that way. And now I got to show up that way. Okay? And I got to take action. So now I still got to go to the Lincoln dealership. I got to take action. I got to prove to my ego, I got to prove to that fear-based self, to that fear-based aspect of my mind that I am capable, that I am worthy, but not only that, that I'm taking steps towards manifesting that which I truly desire. In the book, The Power of the Subconscious Mind, it literally says you gain the power. Okay, how does the words go? Come on. How do you overcome fear? By doing the thing that you fear. So you overcome your fear by doing the thing that you fear. And so what does that mean? For me, in this situation that is kind of mundane, but it's still relevant to what's going on. It's still relevant to creation. It's still relevant to manifestation. Okay? It's still relevant to this spring energy, this new life energy, this rebirthing energy. So how do I gain the fear? How do I overcome that fear? I overcome that fear by going to the Lincoln dealership, by hearing what these people got to say, by sitting in the car, right? By speaking to my bank and saying, this is what I want. How do I get there? That's how I gain the fear. That's how I overcome the fear. I don't overcome the fear by just thinking about it. When I just think about it and I don't act on what I want, I'm giving more power to my ego than I am to my intuition and than I am to my inner knowing. I've been knowing for a year that the Lincoln Navigator was for me and my household. Dream will tell you. Dream will tell you I've been knowing that the Lincoln Navigator is for me. Okay? And now I'm actually in a situation to where it's time to fully manifest it. It's time to realize it. But guess what the ego does? The ego comes in and says, can you really afford that? What if it's too much? Maybe you need to look at the Ford Expedition. Maybe, you know what I mean? So that's what the ego does. And so if you want to manifest anything in your life, you have to get your heart and your mind on the same page. You have to get your inner feeling, right? You have to get your heart, your inner knowing, your intuition, and your thoughts on the same page. Truthfully, family, your ego has to die. And that there's really no such thing as a real ego death, because your ego is always going to be there. But you have to literally peel apart and get a deeper understanding as to why you think the way you think. You got to know and understand why you think the way you think. Why do you feel like you're not worthy? Why do you feel like you're not deserving of prosperity, of love, of whatever it is that you desire? Why do you think that way? And then most of the times you got to travel down, time travel back to that childhood time, and really analyze what experiences you had as a child caused you to believe what you believe. You know, that's what you have to do. See, when you're dealing with your heart and your truth and that inner knowing, there is no question. How many of you, let me know in the chat on YouTube and on Instagram, how many of you have ever had an experience to where you just knew exactly what you needed to do, how you needed to do it, and there was no questions asked about it? Put a 1 in or finger up like this, like me. I've had that before. How many of you have ever had that experience to where you didn't have to question anything? It was such a deep knowing, such a deep understanding that you just knew exactly what it is you're supposed to do, where you're supposed to be, how you're supposed to do it. It's just done. I know what I need to do, and I'm going to do it. Yes, Evolve. Mad Titan, Rashawn, Dream. Yes. And so what we have to do is figure out how to get our mind and our heart on the same page with that aspect. You know what I mean? You got to get on the same page. It just, see, the heart, it don't have no questions, boo. The heart, the intuition, and that's the trick. That's the trick. See, the heart don't ask no questions. The heart just knows. When you are doing something from your heart, you just know. You just know exactly what it is that you're supposed to do. That's that intuition. That's that divinity. That is what you would call God. When you are operating from the heart, you just know. You don't have to ask no questions. And so the question is, how do you get your heart involved, right? How do you get your mind in alignment with what your heart knows? Because your heart knows, but it's your mind, it's your thoughts that starts playing games with you. See, the heart comes first. This is so good, y'all. Understand this. Whenever you are experiencing how they always say, go with your first mind, what they're really talking about is going with your heart, because your heart is your first mind. Because your heart is intuition. Your heart is spirit. Your heart is God. Your heart is your inner knowing. That is why Bobby Hemmett always said in ancient Egyptian times, they would throw the brain away and keep the heart. Okay? Your heart is your first mind. But what happens to us, right? We get this intuitive nudge about what we're supposed to do. Our spirit, our higher self, God, whatever you resonate with, tells us what we need to do, who we need to be, all of that good stuff like that. Boom. We know exactly what we need to do. What happens next? Your thought comes in, right? That's why I love the saying, first spirit. The first thing that you need to do to be in alignment is always going to come up, and it's not going to have any question. Intuition is going to come through fast. Boom. But what happens right after your intuition tells you something? Right after your heart tells you something? The very next thing that happens is ego. Are you sure you want to do that? Are you sure that's what you want to do? How is that going to work out for you? What if they don't like it? What if you don't do good? What if you fail? What if you're not accepted? What if it doesn't work? That whole conversation. Right when that conversation happens, you should instantly know you are in ego. And when you discover that you are in ego, you have to do the opposite. You have to go back to what you've always known. That first mind, that heart. You have to go back first. You have to go back. You have to pause yourself and become still enough to say, okay, what do I know I'm supposed to be doing? Unattached to fear, unattached to an expectation, unattached to a result, right? Because when you are moving in spirit, wherever you land is divine. Mm. That's what y'all got to understand. When you are moving in spirit, wherever you land is divine. Like that old saying, shoot for the moon, land among the stars. See, when you are in the ego, you ain't taking no shots. You're not even taking a shot. You're not even going for it. But when you move in spirit, when you move from that heart alignment, wherever you land is divine and is in alignment with what you are needing in this moment. And it is your ego that judges whatever it is that is made manifest from the situation. It is your ego that says, I didn't get to that goal that I wanted. It didn't happen the exact way I thought it was going to. That's ego. Spirit is going to challenge you to find the blessing, to find the benefit, to find the power in whatever it is. Okay? Your heart, it don't have no questions about what it told you. When your intuition tells you something, there is no question about it. It isn't a, okay, what if this? Ego will have you being like, okay, what if? Well, what if? Well, if that, then what? Your heart is not in that space. It's just a knowing. And it really ends there. It's a channel, it's a direct message. And then it's just like, okay, well, what are you gonna do? And here's the beautiful divine thing that I love probably more than anything that I want y'all to know is that no matter how many times you fall into the ego trap, right? No matter how many times you fall into the ego trap, you're still divine. You are still divine and you are still en route to manifesting your greatest greatness. No matter how many times you fall short, you're still en route to manifesting your greatest greatness. That's such a blessing. Honey, because what you do gain out of that situation is more experience, a deeper understanding. And then when you get to the destination, spirit is just like, oh, well, that had to happen for this to happen. So really, it's all about how quickly do you want to get there, right? Because really, the only thing that is slowing down or stopping your manifestation, especially in this spring season, the only thing that is stopping it and slowing it down is your belief in the ego, is your investment in ego. Your investment in all the questions your mind has about how you are going to manifest. The more you invest in those thoughts, and I'm not saying that that's always a bad thing. Because sometimes when you are moving forward, let's say in business, you need to ask questions so that you have direction and so that you know and so that you don't have so many missteps. So I get that. But you have to be able to know the difference between gaining clarity, and being in fear. There's a difference. See, when you're moving in the direction of your divinity, your power, your purpose, your passion, Spirit is going to give you the answers that you need to move forward and to do what you need to do. Okay? So you have to understand, you have to be able to recognize, okay, are these thoughts that I'm having, are they stopping me from moving forward? Are they keeping me in the same space? That's ego. Your ego doesn't want you to change. Your ego doesn't want you to become anew. Not because it hates you, but because it's comfortable where it is. It's comfortable not having. It's comfortable in toxic relationships. It's comfortable in lonesomeness. It's comfortable in feeling like you're cursed and that things never work out in your favor. It's comfortable in that space because that's where you've always been. Or that's where you've been for a long time. Okay? That's where you've been for a long time. And so it takes strength. It takes courage. Courage is the word. It takes courage. It takes bravery to follow your heart. And the alignment comes into play because when you do the thing that you fear, it is no longer a fear. When you do the thing that you fear, when you do the thing that Spirit has been calling you to do, the ego shatters. And it has to be reconformed, reconfigured around this new understanding that you are worthy, that you are capable, that you are deserving, that you are strong, that you are smart, that you are brilliant, that you are genius, that you are divine. It has to reshape itself and reconfigure itself around that understanding. Okay? But I'm telling you, the number one thing that is stopping you and so many others, myself as well, and I'm working on it. I'm conscious of it. I'm aware of it. I see. Oh God, come on. You got to recognize this. You have to be able to recognize the contradiction. See, what you desire, that is coming from a place of heart. What you desire. And what you desire, you deserve to have. And it's coming from here. But your beliefs, your thoughts about yourself are what stop you from pursuing it. Okay? So when you recognize, okay, I got these contradicting beliefs going on. And I'm going to tell you right now, some of you don't even recognize you have contradicting beliefs. Some of you think, the way that you perceive the world is normal. And you're not recognizing that the way that you view yourself and the way that you view the world is what's actually stopping you from manifesting. And because you don't recognize that, you continue to go on in life like, okay, it's going to happen for me. I know it's going to happen for me. But you're not taking the mental action, the spiritual action, and the physical things. You're not doing those things to manifest it. And so if you are in a place to where you're like, for some reason, I just don't know why it's not happening.